Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Town of Lewisboro, January 12th, organizational meeting. After the organizational meeting, we'll have a regular meeting. For those in the room, the exits are towards the front of the building and to the rear of the building. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Okay, so we'll start with thank you. We'll start with the staff appointments. Let's see here. So I'll just read the list of the volunteers. No, where? Oh no, that's okay. Oh, the committee. Yeah. Hold on a second. Okay, yeah, got it. This is second communication. So yeah, the other meeting. Yeah, so in terms of communications in this part of the meeting, I would like to thank, we have a lot of committees and boards and councils that help us run this town. So I'd like to thank, many of those folks are going to be reappointed, the chairs of those committees and boards and councils. So I'd like to thank all the volunteers that help this town and help with running these individual groups. So thank you all very much. And now we'll continue with actually before that, the committees. We have vacancies. So we have documented committee vacancies on the website. Anyone interested in serving on the committee should send a resume along with the letter of intent to Chief of Staff Kerry Wolf. Email address is benefits@lewisborony.gov.
And the resume doesn't have to be like some, employment resume.
Yeah,
Give something background.
Right. Okay. Okay. All right. So now we'll start with the staff appointments. The staff appointments include our town attorneys, Harold Zalop, PC, and Greg Foschetti, planning board attorney Judd Seberg from Keenan Bean, town engineers KSCJ Consulting, town planner and wetlands inspectors also KSCJ Consulting, town prosecutor Gregory Monteleone, town auditor PKF O'Connor Davies, fire inspector Kevin Kelly, chief of staff and benefits coordinator Kerry Wolf, controller Annie Burnham, deputy supervisor Mary Shaw, deputy receiver of taxes Anna Bouts, elections officer, registrar of vital statistics and records management officer Janet Donahue. Thank you, Janet. Deputy town clerk and deputy elections officer and deputy registrar of vital statistics is Jen Caviola. Deputy highway superintendent Peter Hackett, town historian Maureen Cole, cemetery commissioner Steve Johnson, Wild Oaks administrator is me, Oak Ridge sewer and water administrator, that's me as well. Oak Ridge water billing administrator is Deirdre Casper. So I'd like to go ahead and motion for approval of the stated appointments. So sorry. Okay, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next we have the appointment of committee members. Let's get to that page here. Okay, so we'll take one at a time. So we have reappointment of a member to the intent advisory board. So I'd like to go ahead and motion that we appoint Lean Gainey as a member of the intent advisory board for a 5-year term ending December 31st, 2030.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, okay. I was reading
Oh,
down. Hold on, this is.
Okay, next is the Architecture and Community Appearance Review Council, also known as ACARC. So I'd like to go ahead and motion that Steve O'Hara, Darren Mercer, and Chris Winter are hereby reappointed as members of the Architecture and Community Appearance Council for 3-year terms ending December 31st, 2028. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next is the Board of Assessment Review. So I'll go ahead and motion that Richard D. Ferrarone is reappointed as a member of the Board of Assessment Review for a 5-year term ending September 30th, 2030. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
The Cable TV Committee. I will go ahead and motion that Steve Shapiro is appointed as a member of the Cable TV Committee for a 3-year term ending December 31st, 2028.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Conservation Advisory Council. I will go ahead and motion that Sally Frank, Tom Buskowski, Joe Tanzi, and Elizabeth DeAngelis are reappointed as members to the CAC for 2-year terms expiring December 31st, 2027.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
The Emergency Management Committee. I'd like to go ahead and motion that John Winter, Dan Murtha, Dave Alfano, Mike Lynch, Al Malillo, Matthew York, Jeff Peck, Adam Oakes, Joe Smith, Jennifer Brown, Nicole Caviola, Savannah Usher, and John Odermatt are appointed to the Emergency Management Committee for 2-year terms expiring December 31st, 2027. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
The Housing Committee. I'd like to motion that we reappoint Linda Presswolf, Paul Dennis, Larry Mango, and Netta Schoenfeld to the Housing Committee for 2-year terms ending December 31st, 2027.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Next is the Landmark Advisory Committee. I'd like to motion that we reappoint Maureen Cole and Albert Cole as members of the Landmarks Advisory Committee for 2-year term expiring December 31st, 2027. I have a second.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Open Space and Preserves Advisory Committee. I'd like to go ahead and motion that we reappoint Rose Bonanno, Nancy Bahana, George Scott, and Jim Berenson to the Open Space and Preserves Advisory Committee for 2-year terms expiring December 31st, 2027.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
The Parks and Rec Advisory Council. I'll go ahead and motion that we reappoint Ian Harris, Meg Kaplan, Jennifer Castellano, Melissa LaSavage, and Rich Elrod as members of the Parks and Recreation Advisory Council for 2-year terms expiring December 31st, 2027.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
The Pedestrian and Bicycle Advisory Committee. I'd like to go ahead and motion that we reappoint Patrick Morris Suzuki as member of the Pedestrian and Bicycle Advisory Committee for a 4-year term expiring December 31st, 2029.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Planning Board. I'd like to go ahead and motion that we reappoint Charlene Delicato, a member of the Planning Board for a 5-year term expiring December 31st, 2030. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
The Sustainability Committee. I'd like to go ahead and motion that we reappoint Robert Fishman, Robert Carpel, Mayor Alcon, and Andrea Rojas as members of the Sustainability Committee for 2-year terms expiring December 31st, 2027.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
The Veterans Advisory Committee. I'd like to go ahead and motion that we reappoint Frank Kelly, Adam Oakes, Doreen Nastasio, Mark Wiebert as members of the Veterans Advisory Committee for 2-year terms expiring December 31st, 2027.
I probably second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
The Zoning Board of Appeals. I'd like to motion that Todd Rendo is reappointed as member of the Zoning Board of Appeals for a 5-year term expiring December 31st, 2030. Do I have discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next we have the appointments of chairpersons of committees, councils, and boards. And I'll read through the list. So we have the Advisory Committee for the Disabled. That's still an open spots, TBD. Intent Advisory Board, Joseph Noy. Architecture and Community Appearance Review Council, Rose Bonanno. Board of Assessment Review, Lawrence Mandelker. Board of Ethics, Lawrence Mandelker. Cable Television Advisory Committee, Dean Travelino. Comprehensive Master Plan Steering Committee, Katie McGinn. Conservation Advisory Council, Sally Frank and Sarah Cucaro. Emergency Management Committee, Dan Murtha and Deputy Chair Savannah Usher. Housing Committee, Linda Presswolf and Linda Ray. Landmarks Advisory Committee, Maureen Cole. Open Space and Preserves Advisory Committee, Eric Swarthout. Parks and Rec Advisory Council, Ian Harris. The Pedestrian Bicycle Advisory Committee, that's to be determined. It's a position we're yet to fill. Planning Board, Janet Anderson. Pool Advisory Committee, William Tackler. Stormwater Management Committee, Rick Bolander of KSCJ. Sustainability Committee, Christopher Caccaro. Veterans Advisory Committee, John Lemke. Zoning Board of Appeals, Robin Price Jr.
A second.
Oh, did I miss some?
No, I'm seconding.
Oh, yeah, appointments on,
You good?
All in
oh,
favor?
good,
Yes.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
The camera,
Yeah, hold on a second. Yeah, no, I was just making sure.
Trail
Okay.
behind.
Next is the procurement policy, a motion. Yeah, so I'd like to go ahead and motion the town board adopt and as amended, the procurement policy as of October 24th, 2016. And said policy should be reviewed by the town board on an annual basis.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Fee schedule. I'd like to go ahead and motion that the town board approve the town's fee schedule.
Second.
Discussion.
This is separate from planning board. Big stuff.
Actually, that's included in there. Yes, so that new, right. So I think that was added to your,
Yeah, I just want to know if that's.
yeah, so that includes the adjustments that we made on the planning board side.
Okay.
Correct. Yes,
I'll
sorry
make
about
that
that. You're right.
incorporated. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So that would be the discussion?
Yeah,
So that's a discussion.
including the planning board fee schedule recommendations.
Correct. So all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so next we have authorization of attendance at conferences and meetings. So I'd like to go ahead that authorization be given for in-state travel to the supervisor, town board members, and other municipal officials and employees for attendance at annual meetings and training sessions, and be a further result and that said municipal officials and employees of the town shall submit a request for attendance at such meetings along with an estimate of cost to the town board in advance of such meeting. And that the attendee be reimbursed by the town for reasonable budgeted expenses incurred by their attendance at the meeting/training sessions. So for the second discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Memberships. I'd like to go ahead and motion that membership in the professional organizations for 2026 are approved and the required 2026 dues be paid.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Association of Towns. This is a resolution for the town board or motion that the town board does approve the continuation of the membership of the town of Lewisboro in the Association of Towns for 2026 and pay the annual membership dues in the amount of $1,800. And that Supervisor Gonsalves is hereby appointed as the 2026 delegate, and Councilwoman Shaw is hereby reappointed as the 2026 alternate delegate, and are authorized to vote on behalf of the town of Lewisboro at the annual meeting and training school of the Association of Towns of New York State to be held at the New York Marriott Marquis, February 15th to the 17th of 2026. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next is the setting of seasonal salaries for Parks and Rec. I'd like to go ahead and motion that the 2026 part-time seasonal staff salary ranges as proposed by the Parks and Rec supervisor in a memo dated January 7, 2026 is hereby approved.
Second, should we change that to superintendent? What does that
Oh,
mean?
recreation, that's true. I guess, so, yeah. So the motion would be, yeah, the title is recreation, superintendent of recreation, Parks and Rec.
Seconded.
Discussion, that was a discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Mileage. I'd like to go ahead and motion that the town employees and elected officials shall be reimbursed for the use of a personal vehicle for town business when a town-owned vehicle is not available for use at the per mile rate set by the IRS. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next is the kennel. So I'd like to go ahead and motion that this is, I guess that the super, actually somebody else, I guess I could motion it. The supervisor is hereby authorized to sign a one-year agreement for a term expiring December 31st, 2026 between the town and the South Salem Animal Hospital, which provides for holding and sheltering dogs in accordance with the provisions of the New York State Agricultural and Market Law, and in accordance with the provisions of Chapter 105 of the Code of the Town of Lewisboro, at a cost of South Salem Animal Hospital's going rate for 24 hours or part thereof, and $50 if dog belongs to the town of Lewisboro, and is waiting to be adopted out. Said approval, subject to council's review of the agreement.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, this is library annual agreement. I motion that that I'm authorized to sign the 2026 agreement with the Lewisboro Library.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The designation of official newspaper. I'd like to go ahead and motion that the town board does hereby designate the Recorder as the official newspaper for the town of Lewisboro. And further resolved that the Westchester Journal News, which is a daily paper, as an alternate paper.
Seconded.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next is our banks, designated depository. So I'd like to go ahead and motion that that the supervisor is authorized to sign bank depository agreements. And those banks include,
You gotta-
hold on a second.
The JP Morgan Chase and Flagstar Bank.
Then the signer.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's skip one here. Okay, so this is the approval of JP Morgan Chase and Flagstar Bank as the depositories for town funds during the year 2026.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Next is approving the bank depository agreements, and
And Councilman Welsh will motion that.
got it.
Oh,
Very good.
motion,
Thank you.
that's right. Okay.
That's right.
Resolved, that I move that the supervisor is authorized to sign the bank depository agreements.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, transfer authorization. Motion that the town supervisor.
Oh, that's-
Oh, that's Dan again, sorry. Yeah,
Move that the town supervisor and the town controller are authorized to make transfers of funds not to exceed $20,000 a month among the appropriation lines of the 2026 town budget.
Second.
discussion.
And that's a change based upon inflation and right.
Correct.
That's the
10,000, 20,000 makes the process easier, and yes, and to take into account the rising costs, right? Next is the,
We need to vote on it.
oh, sorry, that was
All in
discussion.
favor.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Highway Department, so this is an authorization of purchased tools, so I'd like to motion that pursuant to section 142 of the highway law, the superintendent of highways of the town of Lewisboro is hereby authorized to purchase equipment, tools, and other implements to be used for highway maintenance, construction, or reconstruction during 2026, subject to the limitations of budgetary appropriations and public bidding requirements.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next is also related to the highway department. Pursuant to the provision, so I'll go ahead and motion that pursuant to the provision of section 284 of the highway law, the agreement to spend town highway funds budgeted for the year 2026 as presented to the town board by the superintendent of highways is hereby approved. So discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Next is also highway department, the highway estimate and budget. I'd like to go ahead and motion that the annual highway estimate and budget for 2026 as presented by the superintendent of highways hereby is approved.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting dates. A motion that the town board meetings for the town of Lewisboro shall normally take place on the second and fourth Monday of the month. Such meetings will normally be held at the Townhouse, 11 Main Street, South Salem, New York, or at the Lewisboro Library, 15 Main Street, South Salem, New York at 7:30 PM. Additional meetings will be held as the board deems necessary.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Next is the supervisors 2026 liaison list. So let's see, I'll read.
Motion.
This is motion by me. Okay, so I move that the following town board liaisons are established for 2026. Advisory Committee for the Disabled, Julie Hadlock. Architecture and Community Appearance Review Council, Julie Hadlock. Antenna Advisory Board, Tony Gonzalez. Assessor's Office / Board of Assessment Review, Mary Shaw. Benefits Administration Department, Mary Shaw. Building Department, Tony Gonzalez. Cable Television Committee, Julie Hadlock. Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee, Daniel Welsh. Conservation Advisory Council, CAC, Mary Shaw. The Court, pursuant to Uniform Justice Court 2019-A, Richard Sclaren. East of Hudson Watershed Corporation, Tony Gonzalez. Emergency Management Committee, Mary Shaw. Ethics Board, Julie Hadlock. Finance Department, Tony Gonzalez. Highway Department, Richard Sclaren. Housing Committee, Dan Welsh. Lewisboro School Board, Tony Gonzalez. Labor Negotiation, Tony Gonzalez. Landmarks Advisory Committee, Julie Hadlock. Library, Julie Hadlock. Maintenance Department, Tony Gonzalez. Oak Ridge and Wild Oaks Water and Sewer District, Tony Gonzalez. Open Space and Preserves Advisory Committee, OSPAC, Dan Welsh. Parks and Recreation Advisory Council, Mary Shaw. Parks and Recreation Department, Mary Shaw. Pedestrian and Bicycle Advisory Committee, Dan Welsh. Planning Board, Richard Sclaren. Police Department, Julie Hadlock. Pool Committee, Richard Sclaren. Sustainability Committee / Recycling Department, Dan Welsh. Stormwater Management Committee, Dan Welsh. Tax Receiver's Office, Tony Gonzalez. Town Clerk's Office, Tony Gonzalez. Veterans Advisory Committee, Tony Gonzalez. And Zoning Board of Appeals, Mary Shaw. I have a second.
You do.
Discussion.
I didn't know how to spell liaison until I looked it up. It's a proper spelling.
There's an extra I in there. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, is that a record? Okay, so that's the end of the organizational meeting, so we'll start the regular meeting. Let's see. Okay, I'll start with public comment number 1. Would anyone here like to say anything?
Hello, I'm Porter Bish. I live on Terrybit Drive, and I'm the SPL of Shreveport and Lewisboro. I'd just like to
What
give
do those initials
That's,
stand for?
SPL, sorry, Senior Patrol Leader. I'm sorry.
I knew that.
Yeah. I'd like to give a really quick thank you to everyone in the town for their support of our tree cycle fundraiser we do every year, and especially John Winter this year, who opened the gate behind to help recycle our trees. And it was one of the smoothest years on record. It was really quick. We collected over 200 trees, and it wouldn't have been done without the help of John Winter and, of course, the people of the town. Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thank you for doing that.
Didn't you also donate a portion of it to food insecurity?
Oh, yes. So a portion of the money we raised this year will be donated to a charity of food insecurity. Specifically
The
noted.
pantry, which was formerly the Interfaith Food Pantry in Mount
Oh,
Kisco, and they'll
yeah.
be donating about $910. There's still some money coming in, but we're hoping to donate 1,000 is the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you very much. Anyone else here? How about on Zoom?
Yes.
Barbara Mangione, I'm asking you to unmute, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Happy New Year, everybody. I just have a couple of comments or questions with the new year. First thing, and I would believe this would probably be directed mostly at Tony. You know, every year, at least once a year, several times, twice a year for the last 5 years, I have mentioned that there are some committees, councils, etc., that do not put either their agendas up on the town board webpage or their minutes. Just for transparency, I mean, I do attend a lot of those meetings by Zoom, so I do take my own notes, but I really think it would be appropriate and helpful for residents if all of the committees, and most of them do, and I'm not trying to give people more work, but if all of the committees would definitely put their minutes up, because I know a lot of them do have very excellent minutes, because I watch the meetings. Secondly, I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of times on the Facebook page that I help moderate now, I consistently see from time to time either somebody reporting a loose dog that they see, a loose dog that they've been able to corral and have in their possession, or issues on town property where they have been approached by dogs off leash. I don't see a dog control officer on our webpage. So I didn't see you appoint anybody. So I don't know if we're between them. I know we've mostly have one that's part-time. So I think it would really be a good thing for the town to, I don't know what your plan is. Like I said, I don't know if there is one or one in the works. To have a more comprehensive policy as to what people can do, because mostly what they do is they go on Facebook and they're like, there's a dog running around 138, or I have a dog in my yard. What do I do? We can't depend on the police. The police are usually, they're patrolling. They're not sitting in an office somewhere. So I think the town really needs to put something together so that people know what to do. And lastly, Tony, if maybe during polling of the board, if you can give the residents an update on how the office moves are going, like when do you expect to move most of the departments out of LES and into the permanent spot? Thank you very much.
Greg, is there any, on the, Barbara was talking about the meeting, the minutes, is there any state statute or regulatory thing as far as like committees and stuff, or is that discretionary?
They're advisory boards, so they're not subject to the open meetings law. But our practice has been,
I think,
we post agendas and minutes,
Yeah.
to my understanding, for virtually all of them.
with the exception of
Yeah.
the Conservation Advisory Council, I believe the CAC is legally obliged.
But yeah, and
So-
the intent advisory board, they're
Yeah.
both statutory boards, but the
Yeah.
advisory boards are not, but they typically do. So if, to the best of my understanding, that most of them post agendas and adopt minutes or approve minutes.
Anyone else, Janet?
Yes. Simone O'Connor, I'm asking you to unmute, please.
Good evening. It's my hope in this new year you will operate with transparency and serve all of Lewisboro, not just special interest groups that supported you, and that the horrible issues with the water in Oak Ridge finally and actually get corrected as you promised they would be by last year. And now that we're in a new year and a new season, I wish everybody a happy and healthy new year. And thank you.
All right, thanks, Simone. And that's it.
Okay. Okay, next on the communications, the board has received the CAC Conservation Advisory Council Annual Report for 2025. It's been distributed and will be published on the town website. So I just want to make folks aware. 2-page document. We'll post it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I don't think it's necessary.
They're working hard. We just met this evening and it's moving along. They'll be doing some educational projects.
Okay,
There's a motion to acknowledge receipt, is that what that is?
it's just communication, so
Oh,
it's,
okay.
yeah, just making the board aware that we did receive that. The other 2 items I have are, speaking of Oak Ridge, we did receive from the Department of Health a permit to operate a public water supply. We received one for Oak Ridge and one for Keeler. And this is basically a confirmation that the water system is working up to the standards of the health department. And so those will be posted as well.
And that's something we get each
year we have to
Is that
renew.
Annual, okay.
Correct, that's correct. One is for Oak Ridge, the other one is for Keeler, which serves the local area here. Some homes and the townhouse and the library.
Those will be posted online as well.
Yes, yes. So that's all I have for communications. Consent agenda, approval of minutes, which includes the approval of minutes of December 15, 2025, and the monthly reports of the building department and the police department. So I'd like to go ahead and motion to
Second.
approve. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next is new business. So we have a approving the interagency agreement renewal for Northeast Westchester Special Recreation and authorizing the supervisor to sign.
I move that we authorize or allow the supervisor to sign the agreement with the Northeast Westchester Special Recreation. And this is for the special
Special needs,
Special needs.
folks with special needs, yeah. It's programming for folks with special needs, and I think it's I think there's about, it's in the packet, there's about 30 some odd people that take advantage of this. Let's see.
Including the special camp.
It does.
opportunities and-
It's about 38 per year average is about 38 folks in the town of Lewisboro.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Any rate adjustment or just is that dictated by something else?
It's yeah, there's a standard that they use per capita per year,
Right, so we're following
but
the
it's
formula.
so it's the
that we
same
have in the
formula that
past.
we've been used, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a municipal match. There are 6 different municipalities. And they go look at the 3-year average, and per capita, it will be $6,178.08.
Okay.
So the total amount will be $13,019.60.
There's one payment due in January 31st, the other payment is June 30th. Okay,
All in favor?
all in favor? Oh, roll call that, yeah, so Julia,
I,
Rich, aye.
Mary Shaw, aye.
Dan Welsh, aye.
Okay,
And who made the motion?
I did.
And a second?
I second.
Okay, with the other ones. All right, thank you.
and next we have a resolution approving the employee assistance program agreement and authorizing the supervisor to sign.
Shall I move again?
Yeah.
This is for the employee assistance program. And this is when people who work for the town need unrestricted telephone counseling. They can also have a 3-session plan, and there are work-life benefits as well as other benefits. It's to help with engagement and orientation and other aspects of taking care of the people who serve the town of Lewisboro.
Just access to professionals that obviously you don't have in-house.
Right.
Correct.
It's important
Well-
for mental wellness.
As well. Yeah.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Oh, roll call? Okay,
Julia,
I,
Aye.
Tony, aye.
Mary Shaw, aye.
Dan Welsh, aye.
Okay, so we have, just scroll down here. I do have one new business item, which I shared with the board earlier. So we have an opportunity, it's a grant applications with the New York State DOT. It's called the New York State Department of Transportation Alternatives Program. The application is due March 12th. And I just found out late last week that there is a pre-application preview that needs to be submitted by January 15th. So I was talking to a consultant who has done these in the past. This is Elaine Duke from the company called AKRF. And they're very familiar with these, and they have a very good track record at winning these grants. And this is specific for the sidewalks in Cross River. So we're looking to do sidewalks and crosswalks and safety signaling, and DOT is not going to do any of that work. But they do provide a grant that'll help pay for it. And assuming we get the grant, there's a 20% match. And I forget what the limit on the grant is, but it's I think it's wait a second, I think it's here. Yeah, I think it's about $1 million. But we don't need that much. And
It's the maximum.
you know, actually, it says here, the TAP project award shall be no less than 500,000 and no greater than 7 million for any single project. So it's actually 7 million, not 1 million.
So we should, I'm just thinking about with the, we had the referendum, shouldn't we match up to the maximum of that? And we were doing 2.2 million.
So actually, the proposal I have from an engineering firm I had reached out to actually came close to, we had 700,000 per Hamlet. They actually came up to 715,000 in their estimate.
For the Cross
River. Yeah, that's for the actual, that's a budget for the construction work, including the signaling, and everything that's needed.
And also,
Soft cost is separate. That's under, assuming we get the grant, then if we could request that the grant cover the soft costs, but then you have to go with engineering firms that are approved by the DOT, which becomes another, we had to do that with the culvert.
okay,
Makes it a little more complicated. But since we already have from this engineering firm that has done many sidewalk projects in the area in Westchester, they're not in the what they call the LDAP, which is it's the listing that DOT has for engineering firms and consultants.
okay.
Pre-approved, right?
Do we know what's available in the pot, as it were, for this year in these types of grants?
That's available in the pot. Which pot?
And
How much is available in these types of grants in the fiscal year?
Well, this is actually, I don't know.
I was thinking,
Governor Hochul announced $97.4 million in new funding for active transportation related projects. 97 million.
Okay, so how about up to 1.5 million for 20%, and plus the soft costs we're talking about? So how about 1.5 million apply for?
Yeah, we're probably not, the soft costs themselves for this application is about $50,000. But again, then we can't use the engineering firm that we're working with. We have to go through a firm that the state, and it has to be bid across multiple firms that are approved by the state.
But if it's incorporated in the grant, if we get it, and we're also building in the 20% we're gonna have to, so we're kind of netting out after the.
Well, this has a 15,
contribution.
this has a 15% already within contingency for the construction.
And that would contemplate what the state approved vendors would be, approximately that amount? Or are you talking about the ones that we would retain privately?
Well, the ones that we retain, like this firm, for example, their fee would be $50,000 to do this work. I think it's here.
And
Actually 70,300.
not to, just throwing more confusion, but, this is not 100% grant, right? So there's a match.
It's 20%
That's what we
match.
said, that's what we
Yeah,
got, we
So-
got
So
80%.
we also have some level of commitment from local businesses to, undertake
That's-
different parts of it.
That's a good point. Yeah.
That could serve as an in-kind. and
Yes.
Cover that basically.
So in my initial discussions with a couple of businesses in the area, they were willing to contribute towards the engineering cost. I haven't firmed that up, so we would have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got some,
that.
I know about those discussions.
Yeah.
Contract, yeah.
So we could either do, with our own engineering firm, right? Or we could go this route with the state, which takes much longer time. Because we're seeing that now with the culvert. Yeah, either way.
I'm wondering, is that,
I mean, for now, what I like to do here is approve having AKRF work the grants. So we don't have to do it because it's a lot of work and it's $5,000.
And we've
That's the-
been for these things many times over the years and unfortunately
Never got it.
unsuccessful to date, but there should be enough of a history there. If we have a professional firm that's got this track record, working on it. I'm hopeful that this time maybe we'll make a breakthrough.
Because
Since the state is already familiar with the project there in the Cross River and has been there to visit with us and everything, so.
that's what I was talking about this year, because their email's talking about the last round in 2023. So I don't know if they've been successful in 2025 or 2024 or 2025. I don't know.
Well,
Not indicated one way.
So in this email that I just distributed to the board, yeah, in the last 10 years, there were 5 grant rounds because it's every 2 years. They were successful in helping municipalities win $20 million in TAP grants, primarily for sidewalk and pedestrian improvement projects. In the last round in 2023, AKRF assisted the town of Greenberg in winning 2 grants in the same round, which is very rare, and the only instance in 2023. $60 million total for transportation grants over the last 10 years.
So you're not sure if they helped out Kisco and not on that.
I know they're helping Kisco with their Complete Streets program, but she didn't mention the grant, so.
Okay.
Which I think Kisco did get it.
Because that was the stuff about
as well.
7.5 million that was in the paper about?
Yes.
Okay, that was them, all right.
Yep. So the decision, and I guess our motion that we go ahead and move forward with AKRF for a fee of $5,000 to apply and administer the grant application.
And that's for complete preparation, submission of the grant application.
That is correct.
Second.
We have to ultimately submit it, the town does,
No,
but she packages it all.
but she's doing all the,
Right,
he or she is doing all the stuff, so.
right.
Subject to being contingent upon a cap of 5,000 for preparation and
Let me see
legwork
that.
and submission. Second.
This one?
Yeah, just want to verify something here, sorry.
Did you just
It's-
second that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
just wanted to be,
yeah,
making sure they're doing all the
so
work.
discussion, I just want to verify one thing. This is the fee estimate. I just want to make sure I have it. And I'll read it out loud here. AKRF will complete the scope of work on a time and materials basis for a fee not to exceed $5,000. All work will be performed in accordance with our standard terms and conditions outlined in Appendix A.
So do we have to nail down the amount that it's being applied for?
We have, but that's a separate.
Believe,
we-
we believe that we would let them
There,
take care of the application
Doesn't have to
process.
be in the motion.
it doesn't have to be an emotion, no.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna try to get as much as we can, depending on what,
That would be lovely because
depending
there
on how much, like, when
there are parts of Lewisboro who could use sidewalks.
well, she mentions the
as well.
school, so she says here.
No, Greg, answer my question, just in connection with the motion, do we have to put in a direction as far as the amount of the application? So the answer seems to be no.
No,
Okay.
I mean, right now, this letter speaks of the Cross River requirement only. And obviously, yeah, we know we have other places in Golders Bridge and all the rest of that.
And this,
Are
And
we,
I
are
think-
we saying that, the advice is not to put in for multiple grants?
I would think that it's probably advisable to narrow your focus and be very specific in terms of the likelihood of success. It's gonna want to look at a project that's very specific in scope and clear. And so I think if we throw in other places where we're like, oh, it'd be nice to have like, it detracts from the
right.
original grant proposal. So I mean,
Yeah,
we can.
and I think we have-
I can advise us on
Yeah.
that, but.
We have maybe potential other, like, for example, in Golden's Bridge, we have. Mercedes put in a sidewalk, right, as part of their project. I asked them if they could put in a sidewalk and they did, so. We can maybe take that and have talked to the MTA about connecting that sidewalk to their parking lot, and I've spoken to the shopping center. They're interested in maybe contributing to that as well. So we could certainly build out this sidewalk network within Golden's Bridge.
but I just would like the record to state that I express interest in making that Vista get served as well.
Yeah,
Not to
absolutely.
detract from the
Yeah.
specificity of this particular grant application.
We have designs or concepts for all 3 hamlets.
It's-
And I would
And-
let AKR give us a guidance on,
Right.
is the grant better so when you have more or less, let
Right.
them think about, so to your point, Mary, if they say, you know, it's best to have like multiple projects are more appealing or a specific project, but
Right.
let them give us some guidance on that if this is something they do
Right.
regularly.
Yeah, and I'll have that discussion with them, for sure, yeah. I mean, if they were successful in getting 2 grants in the same round for Greenberg.
Maybe they
I
could
mean,
do two
they can do
grants.
3.
Realistically,
Yeah.
the submission has to go on Thursday.
Correct,
This only speaks of Cross River.
correct,
So the
yes,
fact is, we're only.
that's a
gonna-
good point,
At
yes.
this point, we're only
Yeah.
gonna get into Cross
Right.
River.
So what's the basis for making that determination as far as our priority for grant funding for sidewalks is Cross River over and
Well,
above
the
Vista or
The,
Golden's
the,
Bridge?
the basis is the pedestrian traffic in that intersection. You have kids walking from Mark Mead over to school, you have folks from the shopping center on the school side walking over to the borough. You have folks crossing 121.
We can also
To
make
get
the
the
case that
cameras.
now the town offices are moving there as well. It's gonna exacerbate an already.
Yeah,
Not
acute-
exacerbate, increase the volume.
Okay, so the decision is predicated upon the most pedestrian traffic at this point.
correct,
Okay,
yes,
that's
yes,
policy rationale for it.
right.
You have a motion and second, I think.
Discussion, we already had, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank
Do
you.
we need to roll call that?
Should do $5,000, right, authorized for you.
Julia?
Expenditure.
Aye. Aye.
Mary Shaw, aye.
And Walsh.
Okay, thanks, everyone. Okay, so, all right, public comment number 2 for new business only. Anybody here? Looking at this crowd, okay. How about on Zoom?
Barbara Mangione, I'm asking you to unmute.
How is that?
That's fine.
Okay, thank you. Sorry to bother you all again. A
Father,
couple of questions. If Tony, maybe during polling on the board, you can give us residents a list of what the soft costs are. You mentioned 50,000. I think you said 50,000. You threw out 70,000. I don't know if that was the same thing, but I'd like to know the breakdown of that. Also, when it comes to the Cross River thing, I think that's a great idea, especially in light of the fact that I know the borough is looking to expand their business over there, which may draw more students from the high schools crossing over. So I think that would be a great idea. I also, if you haven't already, perhaps speak to the owner of La Familia, who's moving from the main shopping center across the street to where Bluebird is, because he owns that building. He had mentioned on a Facebook post a couple of months ago that he has been in touch directly himself with the DOT regarding crosswalks. So if you hadn't seen that, or if you don't know about it, you may just want to reach out to him also. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Thank you, Barbara. I know.
Okay. All right, next is polling of the board. I'll start with our newest member, and welcome, Julia, your
Thank you.
first meeting.
So I am looking forward next week to attending the New York Association of Towns training for newly elected officials, and looking forward to bringing back any best practices that I learned from that we might be able to incorporate in our work. I don't know if this is an appropriate time to bring this up, but I am as the liaison to the ethics committee, I would like to propose for maybe discussion at a future meeting that we actually have a regularly quarterly meeting for ethics and not just on response to need. I think the ethics committee is just part of good governance. And so having a standing meeting, whether it's quarterly or twice a year, just as a process to look at our ethics policies and think about any ethical issues that might be faced, makes it sort of less of a, it creates continuity when we do need to then address an ethical issue that we want to discuss. There's sort of a relationship with the committee and practice of meetings. So I would like to propose a quarterly meeting if that's something we could discuss at a later time. Also, I am in my role as liaison to the library. I want to just announce that they are right now selling their 25% of the library's budget they raise directly with the board, and they are right now doing their semi-annual Taste of the Town raffle, and that's available through February, and it's $25 for a ticket. And I want to thank all of the community restaurants that are donating to that. If you win it, you get $100 for the Horse and Pound, $100 for 123, $50 for Tacona Cantina. lunch for two at Baccio, $25 from the Borough, $50 from the Blazer, and $50 from the Garden. So it's a great deal and a really nice way for them to raise. And then I'd also like to propose, and again, I don't know when it's appropriate to bring this up, but I think it would be nice to have some kind of standing agenda for the liaisons for the committees to report on a regular basis at some point on just to keep the community updated on what we're doing. I think you guys are doing good work and working with all these committees and just maybe once a month, one of the meetings a month, do like a quick report out from any meetings that have happened. And thank you very much for supporting me, and I'm happy to be here.
Thanks, Julia. Mary?
I wish everybody a happy new year. And one of the the committees to which I'm liaison is the Thrive Committee. It's the coalition with Lewisboro, Poundridge, and Bedford, where there are 3 representatives from each town. And the goal of the organization is to work on mental wellness and drug use prevention for junior high school or middle school and high school students. And we're hoping to expand that eventually to those of us who used to be in middle school and high school, the greater community as well. We currently have 2 people who are serving, but they are also overworked. So we are looking to fill all 3 spots soon. So please, if you have experience in marketing, or if you have experience in finance, or want to make a difference for all 3 communities, they meet on Wednesday evenings via Zoom from 6:30 to 7:30, and there's additional subcommittee meetings that meet on occasion, but it is well worth it. And we hope to, as the liaison for the Emergency Management Committee, we're hoping to get the MOU with the county signed very soon and bring into action an emergency response plan for the town of Lewisboro as well.
Thanks, Mary. Rich?
Mary, happy and healthy new year to everybody, notwithstanding Larry David's pronouncement that there's a 3-day statute of limitations for that. Want to just join in Tony's comment. Our town runs by its volunteers, and I had spoken to a few people late in the year about getting involved. So I would encourage people who are thinking about it, send that letter of intent. Find out, you're not committing to anything. If you find out, ask any of us, the respective liaisons, if you have a potential interest in joining a board or council or committee, talk to one of us. Be happy to talk to you about it as far as the specific experience. It's a rewarding and important experience, and you will enjoy it. And the concept of, I think, a founding father's virtue, you're giving back to your community. It's an important thing. So ask everybody in town who is not to give it serious consideration. It's important, and we need you, and we appreciate you if you get involved. Third and last, this is going to be based upon talking to our elected officials at the, particularly the county and state level. It's going to be a very challenging financial environment, fiscal environment this year. And I'm hoping that we're all going to pay very close attention and scrutinize all the dollars from beginning of the year through. We went through a very rigorous and challenging budget process, which I think ended up with a very good product at the end. So we need to all do our level best to make sure that we're watching those dollars in these difficult times, especially with the challenging environment we have at the county and state level. So I'll be doing my best, and I'm sure everybody else will as we proceed forward in 2026. Looking forward to it.
Okay, thanks, Rich. All right, a couple of things. Oh, I'm sorry, Dan. Sorry.
Just want to, well, again, I want to say how excited I am to see that right out of the gate, we're going to take a run at the Cross River project and hopefully finally knock that one off. Just acknowledge again that we'd love to find somebody who's passionate about the bike pedestrian safety issue that might want to take on chairing that committee. And just looking forward to working forward this year. Oh, and a lot of cool stuff. The EV chargers are going forward, right? And of course, when the weather turns well, we'll get the solar project going on the other two barns. So a lot of fun stuff.
Yep. Thanks, Dan. Okay, a few things. So the dog control officer, yes, it is correct that that's an open position. So if anyone knows anyone that would like to work as a dog control officer, they can reach out to Janet Donahue, our town clerk.
Part-time.
Part-time, it's part-time role, yes, yes. Okay, the status on the Oak Ridge project. So the bulk of the work is done. There were some hiccups with integrating the new with the old, and also at the same time, not restricting water supply to the residents and the businesses. So they had to come up, the contractor had to come up with some additional plumbing that would allow them to do that basically seamlessly. So that's in the works. We planned for and I'm supposed to be getting another update out of Paul I had on Friday, an update this week. But again, the bulk of the project is done. The granular activated carbon has been delivered, and it's inside those two large vessels that are in the new building. It's currently going through a rinse process. They have to rinse the carbon before they can place it online. And then there's some HVAC work that's ongoing between last week and this week, and that should be finalized. I would say within mid-January, we should have all that physical work completed, and then we have to do some testing with the new connections between the old and the new. And then we have the health department. So they've already had some initial collection of water samples, and once we are in a position where everything is finalized and all the plumbing is done, we have to take some additional sampling after the granular activated carbon is rinsed. So fingers crossed, we'll have that system online by mid-February, let's say. And again, it depends on the health department's schedule. They could take some time. So we're going to continue pushing.
Does Department of Health in this circumstance do a physical inspection, or they basically just, once everything's ready, they just
They do
checking the
both.
water sample?
They do both. They want to make sure that the design, what was designed is what was installed. And then they do the sampling as well. I think we actually it's a third-party company that does the water sampling, and then the results have to be submitted to the health department. I don't think they do their own sampling for this particular project, but they may.
So the health department engineering type person or project management type person comes on to inspect the physical facility upon
Correct.
it's being ready to go online, and then
Right.
the other part with the water part.
Yes, and they've been in contact with Delaware Engineering, who are managing the project. So there has been dialogue between the health department and Delaware. So it's moving along. It's looking good, and I'm hoping that it does what it's supposed to do, which I think it will.
And
So
once again, the closing date for that will be.
so again, I'm going to get an updated schedule.
Tap, I should say.
Yeah, that's I don't want to commit to a date, but it'll be in February,
Okay,
sometime in February.
thank you.
And plus I'm working with the federal EPA. We had to extend the grant application with the grant reimbursement requests. We had to expand the deadline because the project should have been completed. But we're still getting reimbursements from them. We had a little bit of a holdup with the government shutdown. So we had invoices that we were about $425,000 worth that were on hold, but we got approval to get that money this week. So we should be getting that reimbursement. And then we have another couple $100,000 that'll then deplete the grant. We would have tapped into the full amount of that grant.
425 said that was EPA?
That was EPA,
Yeah.
federal EPA, correct. So that's Oak Ridge. The sidewalks. So to answer the question about La Familia, yeah, they were part of the three hamlets. When we had the OT, this goes back maybe 3 years. We had the OT come out, visit the three hamlets, and give us their opinion of where crosswalks need to be, and And they were all in favor of having a crosswalk that'll take kids or folks that are coming from the high school, because the majority of pedestrian traffic were folks getting to Cameron's Deli. So DOT said, okay, this is where you can put a crosswalk, but then you need a sidewalk on both ends, or at least a landing platform. But on the La Fam or Bluebird side, we needed more of a path to get to Cameron's. So at the time, the owner of that building was not ready to do anything because he had some potential projects with the front of that building that he needed to finalize first. So things are put on hold, but now that he's moving his pizzeria, so the owner of that building is also the owner of La Familia. He's moving the pizzeria over. So we had another subsequent discussion, and he said, I'll do this myself. I'll do the sidewalks. I'll get the crosswalks done. Yeah, let me know what I need to do. So I actually connected, Mirage is his name, with New York State DOT. And they're using the same engineering firm that I mentioned, Collier's Engineering. So yeah, so hopefully he'll take care of his piece there with the crosswalk and a sidewalk in front of his building. And then we can connect that to the intersection.
Just thinking about the area, can you start from the existing crosswalk by the field? And come down from the
Actually,
new crosswalk?
the school does have an interest in taking a sidewalk from in front of the school to the intersection.
With the existing
But that's-
crosswalk that goes into the fields, can you
Yeah,
start
yeah.
it at that point?
So that's what I mean. The
Yeah.
school has an interest in somewhere around there, whether it's on the field side, you know,
There-
the north, the east side or the west side, taking the sidewalk down towards.
Yeah, because they have
the
the
shopping
existing
center.
crosswalk already.
Yeah. But that crosswalk is to get people across
Right, but then it would
Right.
take them down on not.
on
coming
121.
into- Right, but I think the
I-
benefit of that is that you're not coming into the plaza at the entrance, which is like a wide entrance with lots
Yeah.
of left hands and
Right.
right turns. You'd come in on the other side of the street, which might be a safer approach.
But there is also private property between the field and the shopping area.
Yeah, but
And
there's DOT right of way.
And
Maybe
there's
that's
also some traffic coming directly from the other shopping center or crossing, so you'd be
Because
leaving them out.
And on that point, as far as from not only that, you're picking up the school kids, but also when you have events going on at the fields and all the leagues that they have, you're coming down that side, so you're increasing the pedestrian
Yeah.
use there and maximizing
So,
potential
yeah.
opportunities for business, like on the
Yeah.
weekends, for example.
Right. And, part of what the school wants to do can be part of this grant application, because they will allow school districts to tap into this grant if they go in with a municipality. So, we'll see, maybe we'll get them to, be part of this. But there is a high level concept in the proposal that we got from the engineering firm, and to answer the question about what the proposal includes, and I can forward this to whoever's interested. So Barbara, if you're interested, I can send this to you. But basically there's a roadway topographic survey, 14,500, traffic volume data collection, 2,800 preliminary plan preparation. I'm just gonna read down the list. Traffic
Online, so it'd be.
Yeah, that's, so I'll do that, but I want to answer her question. There's traffic signal modification plan, final plan preparation, maintenance and protection of traffic plan, New York State DOT highway permit review and coordination, and then the engineer's estimate, and then, so that's the total budget is 70,300 for this work.
Which we hope to get some business support on that as we talk.
Correct, yeah. Okay, and I think, hold on a second, I think I have one other thing, so, some good news. Well, actually, yeah, let me give an update on, someone asked about the town office spaces.
That is barbaric.
Yeah, so we're currently, working with, getting the LES offices into the second floor of the building. So we're working with an office, design company. We should have a final, we've been going back and forth over a couple of months, with the folks that are working at the LES offices and the department heads, and together with our facilities, manager, Joel Smith. And so we have a proposed final design, which I should be getting this week, together with a proposal for the furniture. So they're going to be going into very nice office space, our employees. So looking forward to getting that done. I hope to start that in April, starting to move in April of this year. We did in a meeting and that's the second floor. First floor, we're planning on moving court in there. So we have a court with New York State Office of Coordination to review the design. for that first floor on January 20th. The third floor of the building, we're leaving it as is for now. And so we did get some news today regarding the schedule. I had a meeting with the school superintendent, so we have until September. Which works out well. So we should be able to get court, assuming everything's approved by the Office of Court Administration and our town offices over.
Go into September for which component? September it's for
For us being out of LES.
everything.
Everything except
Except
PD. So
So the first date as to a component of LES is September. So it is 9 months is what we're talking about.
that we have, if we need it.
And
if we need
more
it.
for PD.
Yeah, PD, we don't have, they're allowing PD to stay, which is good. I mean, that's what I've been requesting. So they're being supportive of that.
And
And
clear, are we paying rent if we stay?
yeah, if we stay, we have to pay
So-
rent,
So
sure.
there's an advantage for us to
Yeah.
try and get out as we can.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And ideally, we don't want to wait till the last minute, right?
We're gonna adjust it,
for ready.
Yeah, we just,
Yeah, we can do
PD,
that.
so it
It could
could be a prorated based upon.
Correct.
Just
So we'll tackle that when we get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, but that's the goal would be to prorate it accordingly. As far as PD is concerned, we did have some good news from the health department on the site for the septic system and the leach field. So we are kicking off the preliminary work with the health department. This include working with KSCJ. They're gonna be designing the actual septic system, which then needs to be approved by the health department. So we're hoping to kick that off.
But the good news is that the testing was successful.
Correct. And in parallel, we've been talking to the architect that designed the concept. And we have a follow-up call tomorrow or Wednesday, tomorrow. I think it's Wednesday, to discuss next steps, which will include, then moving forward or getting a proposal for them to potentially do the KSCJ will do the site plan. The proposal from the architect will include all the fully dimensioned and engineered drawings for the structural foundations, the framing, building systems, which include mechanical, electrical, plumbing, fire protection, etc.
And people get updated can go back in the prior meeting where they had the presentation referable to the potential plans with the PDs.
Yeah, so currently the design is going to be based on those plans.
Right, so
That's correct.
So people can check and can watch that prior meeting to get an idea of the concept that the
Right.
presentation made before the board.
Yeah, and we have some other in parallel discussions with modular office companies regarding potentially these being a modular building, which ends up being lower cost. So more to come on PD, but it's exciting. We're moving this along. And then one last item. This is was shared with me by Deirdre Casper, receiver of taxes, regarding someone that just purchased property, or recently purchased property in town, a home, in the end of December. And the person asked Deirdre to share how wonderful all the town personnel he's been dealing with. Specifically, the building department, the assessor, and the tax receiver. He's very impressed at the caliber of staff, and it's another reason he's looking forward to living here. So come to Lewisboro, folks. Best town in New York. Okay. Let's see. I think next is the announcements for the next town board meeting is going to be on Monday, January 26th at 7:30 p.m. here at the Townhouse, 11 Main Street, South Salem. I don't think we have an executive session, so we
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Yeah.
Claims.
Huh?
Claims at all?
No, we're no claims. Yeah.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second, I thought you
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Oh, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Thanks everyone for coming out, folks on Zoom as well. Thank you.